Hey guys, Jeff here, Dice Setters. I had an interesting conversation with somebody that I didn't even know existed until just a few weeks ago. I got this shirt. I met up with Casino Tears, 10 Ton. I got to meet 10 Ton in at Ellis Island. First time meeting him, it was like reuniting with a old friend. Very nice person, and they have a lot to offer. He, along with Roll to Win, that's in another state. They do a podcast. They release it every Tuesday. You can go to casinotears.com. As far as I know, that's what it is. Just look up Casino Tears on Google. It'll lead you to the right direction. There you can sit there and listen to podcasts. And, of course, I used to commute. I used to sit there, and I used to love listening to podcasts just because I had, such a commute. My commutes are over. Once I get out the door, I can make it to my shop in almost a minute. So podcasts don't help me any, but they do when I'm traveling, and they do when I, just want something in my ear, something to relax, something to plant seeds of education in. And this is what this is. This podcast will. You'll be sitting there listening, you go, oh, you know what? I never thought about that. Or you say, you know what? I've thought about that, but I never thought of putting, those things together. Go to their website, man. I will sit there and join. I'm waiting until the end of the month, beginning of the month. That way I'm not paying for 3 days, 4 days, something like that. They do have subscriptions, $11, $22. I know they're coming out with dice. I know they'll have their own dice, legal set of legal dice for you to use. Casinos would, you would not notice the difference between those dice and casino dice. Very interesting. I mean, I think we must have talked for 2 hours, and again, it was just like meeting up with old friends. Fantastic. It's just one more quiver for your or one more arrow for your quiver. Yeah, one more arrow for your quiver that makes you even more sharper when it comes to craps. And if you sit there and take what you hear from them, take what you hear from me, take what you hear from other people, and combine that together, and you're going to have a very, very strong foundation. And I love the podcast. You want to play to win. You want to practice to play to practice. If you're not practicing, guys, I don't really know. It's just one of those arrows that you're missing for your quiver. It's going to make you that much more sharper. So listening to 10 Ton, I had a lot of things, I was thinking about. And as I came across them, I said, you know what? I'm going to sit there and say it. I've got to have notes just because I've gotten to that age. I can't remember nothing. I thought about the opposition that arose when, about dice setting, dice controlling, whatever it is that you want to say. There is maybe some people on the fence, but most of the time it's 50-50. Either they're for it or they're completely against it. Here's some things I want you to remember. An athlete won't judge you for working out. A millionaire won't judge you for starting a business. A musician won't judge you for trying to sing a song. It's always the people going nowhere that have something to say. The opposition that I get, and I don't see much of it, I do know it's out there, and I try just kind of push it away. But I do know there's some people that are like, no, there is no such thing as dice setting. There is no such thing as manipulating the dice. It doesn't exist. Those are the people that don't want to sit there and put forth the time to practice. I have yet to find someone that sat there and said, I practiced, like you said, for a month straight. I did this 5 times a day. I did it for 2 hours, 3 hours, and it does not make a bit of difference. I have yet to meet somebody like that. Never have. Never have. I was waiting for 10 Ton at the bar in Ellis Island, and a guy who was at the same table that I was at, he came up to me. He goes, "Man, those are some awesome. You have an awesome way of rolling." He goes, "Just saying, awesome way of rolling. when you sit there and roll, you roll forever. Notice he didn't sit there and say, man, you sure are lucky. When you get the dice, Lady Luck is sitting there, sprinkling the pixie dust on you. It's never been that way. It's you have an awesome roll, meaning I put forth the effort of practicing. That's why I do have an awesome roll. I'm never going to pat myself on the back because it's stupid. I'm not going to do so. But when I fail to do it correctly, it's because I failed to sit there and put in the practice that needs to happen. One of my favorite movies is called Dodgeball. I know it's absolutely ridiculous, but one of the sayings they have on that is if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. And about that time, the guy throws a wrench at the guy and hits him in the head. But one thing I remember listening to, and this saying did not come from Dodgeball, it came from something else, but I don't even want to discuss truly who's the first person to say this or where they say this this came from. But I remember it coming from Dodgeball, so I'm going to leave it like that. And it is, those that can't do, teach. And those that can't teach, teach PE. The opposition that arises is because they don't want to put forth the time and the effort for practicing. If you ever get to the point of saying, I have practiced for a month and a half and it's got me nowhere, the thing I'm going to ask you is what kind of dice are you using? What kind of hard surface are you throwing on? I'm going to ask you these questions because that's the only thing that really would mess you up. Cheap dice, very well used dice, canceled dice, things like that. Dice that are not casino quality, dice maybe from China. That's what I would sit there and ask. Even if you had all those, you would still at least see some improvement. I guarantee you'll see some improvement. And if you don't, sit there and say, hey, I'm the first one that's going to sit there and say, I put forth the effort and I don't see any improvement. I'll meet you in Vegas and we'll talk about it. That's all I can sit there and say. We'll talk about it and you show me what you got and maybe I might be able to help you. Maybe I might sit there and say, you know what, it's a lost cause. Stick to slots. It's the only thing I can say. I'm going to sit there and draw out 2 names, which I already did. And if these 2 people can get a hold of me this weekend would be awesome. And I'm trying to give you your prizes. Tell me if you want to do the phone where I set the camera up and I show you 6 different prizes, but you don't get to see them, but we do. And then you get to sit there and say, I'll pick number 2 or number 3, whatever it might be. But if you don't want to do that, let me know. The first one is Kenneth Johnson 359. So if that's you, get a hold of me. It's going to be dicesetters@gmail.com. The other one, man, I try to make sense of this one. I get sense for most of it, but there's I don't know. I have Rod LR, filmmaker, creator, 1460. Unless it's Rodler without an E, I don't know. But anyways, if you can contact me, I like to give you some gifts. And if you want to play the game, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine too. Just let me know. And dicesetters@gmail.com. This week, this show, right now, is a new thing I put that I came up with, and it is 3, 2, 1, liftoff. It was me thinking outside the box and saying, what can I do that you do have a lot of money on the table when you do this. But after 2 rolls, you're almost even after 2 rolls. After the 3rd roll, you're for sure even. Watch it. Tell me what you think. It kind of goes with some other, ones I've seen before. But I've actually never seen anyone ever do this. But you're playing inside for 3 hits, inside with a lower bet for 2 hits. Then you use the whole thing for 1 hit, and then you take it all down. And tell me what you guys think. Like, share, subscribe, And here goes today's video. Thanks, guys. All right, guys. I think I'm ready. I have 1,000 here on the table. No, I don't need 1,000, but I just do. Tall, small, all for me. Tall, small, all for the dealers, $1 each. I have 2 on the 3, $1 on the 2, $1 on midnight. I have 25 on the pass. I have 100 on 5. I have 120 on 6 and 8. Then also 100 on 9. Nothing on 10. Nothing on 4. Nothing on the field. 25 on the pass line. I'm looking to hit the inside 3 times. And then once I do that, I'm going to go down by half. It's going to be 8. Marking the 8. Taking these down. Three. Not really what I wanted, but we got it anyways. It's going to be a 6. Mark the 6. That'll pay us 140. That one there is our first hit on the inside. It's going to be a yo. It's not what I want to see, but it is what it is. It's going to be a 5. That's our second hit. Pay 140. Another 3. 5. Mark the thigh. 140. Now we're going to go down by half. So 70 on the 5 and 6. Excuse me, 50. I'm doing a new math over here. This is going to be 70 on the 6 and 8. And we're going to do that, keep that way for 2 rolls. Another 3. There goes 8. Mark the 8. That's 1 turn on that. The 8 will pay 70 bucks. I still have the wrong amount on this. I have 70. Not supposed to be 70, it's supposed to be 60, 60, 60. This guy here is going to be paid. Put money here. $1 on midnight. $1 on 2. $2 on 3. I think I'm ready. This will be 6. At this table, we can go up to 10 times odds. So we're going to back it up with 250. It's going to be at midnight. Part 8. Mark the 8. And that's going to pay us 70. That was our second hit. And now we're going to go down to half of that again. But we're also going to include the 4 and the 10. So we're doing 50 on the 4 and the 10. 25 on the 5. 25 on the 9. And 30 on the 6 and 8. And we want one time like that. Eight. That's going to pay us 35. Now we're going to tell the dealer, turn this off. I'm going to take down my 100 times odds, and we'll just roll it out. The only thing I have is my all tall small, and I have 25 on 6. I'm missing a 4, a 9 and a 10, and a 2. Another 3. Five. And there goes 7. So I did not get my all tall small for myself or the dealers. I lost the 25 on the pass line. I had the dealers turn this off. So all this is fine. Okay, that's what we started with. There was 1,000. One, two, three, four. That's 175. 175. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 500. 50, 60, 65, 69. $569 profit. This is what I call the 3-2-1 liftoff. We held our bet for 3 counts. We took it down by half. Held that for 2 counts. Took it down by half. Went all the way across, $160 across. In the middle of that, we did sit there and put our odds on that. So the first time you had 440 inside 3 times. The second time you had 220 inside. We held that for 2 times, and then we just did 160 across. That is 3-2-1 liftoff. As soon as you make your point, when you had $160 across, you turned your bets off, and that's where you get the lift out. So this is 3-2-1 liftoff with over $500 profit. Once you get paid on your second 440 inside, you are almost in the clear. So if you're like, well, how much is that? You have to do at least 3 hits, basically. 2 and just a little bit more. So 2 good hits, you won't lose that much. It's like 40 bucks, 50 bucks. After you hit 3 times, you're for sure in the clear. Tell me what you guys think. This is what you want to do. You don't want to keep that money up there. You want to bring it down. I had a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 rolls. I had a lot of 3s, and my dice set was 1, 2, 1, 2. It was a hardware set, 1, 2, 1, 2. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe.